Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayanam Namaskritya Naram Chaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayamudire Nashtaprayesu Andreshu Nityam Bhavita Sevai Bhagavati Uttam Shloke Bhaktir Bhavati Naistiki. So continuing with the discussion on Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita Madhya Lila, chapter 17, the Lord travels to Vrindavan. Text 184 onwards. So Mahaprabhu is in Mathura right now, and he had Prashadam at that Shanodiya Brahman's house, who was disciple of Madhvendra Puri. Madhvendra Puri had come to his house to take Prashadam, and he was worried. What will people say because of all the rules among the traditional Brahmins? So Mahaprabhu is further saying, Prabhu kahi Shruti Smriti Yat Rishigan Sabe Ek Mat Nahe Bhin Bhin Dharam. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu replied, the Vedas, Puranas, and great learned sages are not always in agreement with one another. Consequently, they are different religious principles. So unless one comes to the absolute truth, there is no possibility of agreement. It is said that a great learned scholar or sage cannot be exalted unless he disagrees with other scholars and sages. And not just disagrees, but he puts forward his own theory, philosophy. Then he is considered learned. On the material platform, there is no possibility of agreement. Therefore, there are different kinds of religious systems. But the absolute truth is one. And when one is situated in the absolute truth, there is no disagreement. On that absolute platform, the Supreme Personality of Godhead is worshipped. So even Prabhupada is saying, on the material platform, there is no possibility of agreement. But the absolute truth is one. But even the approach towards absolute truth. For example, it could be different. The approach could be different. Now there are 4 Vaishnava Sampradaya. And all of them, they only tend towards how do we go back home, back to Godhead. But all Sampradayas, they have different philosophies. They have, the founding acharyas have different realizations, different understandings. So even there, I mean, yes, the basic principles are same, but ultimately, what every acharya thinks of, or his realization, not thinks, realization of the absolute truth, that is different. For example, for Shri Sampradaya, Lakshmi Narayan is the topmost. So who can say no, that Ramanujacharya is wrong? Who can say that? No way. But for Gaudiya Vaishnavas, Bhakti of Radha Krishna is the topmost. Now in Bhakti of Radha Krishna, now it's a different mood. Because in Nimbarka Sampradaya, it's also Bhakti of Radha Krishna, but mood is different. So again, there could be differences. But on the material level, when there are differences, the differences are because they don't agree with each other. Here they are agreeing with each other, but ultimate is different for all of them. In 4 Vaishnava Sampradayas. On the absolute platform, the worshipful deity is one, and the process of worship is also. That process is bhakti. Now, there are many different religions throughout the world because they're not all on the absolute platform of devotion service. As confirmed in the Bhagavad Gita, Sarva Dharman Pratyajya Mam Ekam Sharanam Raja. The word Ekam means one, Krishna. On this platform, there are no different religious systems. According to Srimad Bhagavatam, Dharma Projita Katavatra. On the material platform, religious systems are different. Srimad Bhagavatam describes them from the very beginning as Dharma Katava, means cheating religion. None of these religions is actually genuine. The genuine religious system is that which enables one to become a lover of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. In the words of Srimad Bhagavatam, Sarvaipumsam Paro Dharma. The supreme occupation, dharma, for all humanity is that by which men can attain to loving devotional service unto the transcendent Lord. Such devotional service must be unmotivated and uninterrupted in order to completely satisfy the self. So this is the supreme dharma, supreme occupation. On this platform, there is nothing but the service of the Lord. When a person has no ulterior motive, there is certainly oneness and agreement of principles. Since everyone has a different body and mind, different types of religions are needed. But when one is situated on the spiritual platform, there are no bodily and mental differences. Consequently, on the absolute platform, there is oneness in religion. Yes, oneness in religion is there. Still, the acharyas can have differences in the perfection. What is the perfection? Dharma sthabana hetu sadhura vyavahara puri gosai riye acharan say dharma sar. A devotee's behavior establishes the true purpose of religious principles. The behavior of Madhvendra Puri Goswami is the essence of such religious principles. Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur gives the following commentary on this passage. A sadhu or honest man is called a Mahajan or a Mahatma. The Mahatma is described thus by Lord Krishna as Mahatmanastu Mampartha Devim Prakritim Ashuta. O son of Pritha, those who are not deluded, the great souls, means the Mahatmas, are under the protection of the divine nature. They are fully engaged in devotional service because they know me as the Supreme Personality of Godhead, original and inexhaustible. Now, in the material world, the word Mahatma is understood in different ways by different religionists. Mundaners also come up with their different angles of vision. For the conditioned soul busy in sense gratification, a Mahajan is recognized according to the proportion of sense gratification he offers. For the conditioned soul busy in sense gratification, a Mahajan is recognized according to the proportion of sense gratification he offers. And offers or he performs and asks everybody or leads everybody to perform that way. So they call him Mahajan. For instance, a businessman may consider a certain banker to be a Mahajan, and karmis desiring material enjoyment may consider philosophers like Jamin to be Mahajans. There are many yogis who want to control the senses, and for them Patanjali Rishi is a Mahajan. Mahajan means authority that one wants to follow. For the Jnanis, the atheist Kapila, Vasishtha, Durvasa, Dattatreya, and other impulse-less philosophers are Mahajans. For the demons, Hiranyaksha, Hiranyakashipu, Ravan son, Meghana, Jarasan, and others are accepted as Mahajans. For materialistic anthropologists speculating on the evolution of the body, a person like Darwin is a Mahajan. The scientists who are bewildered by Krishna's external energy have no relationship with the Supreme Personality of Godhead, yet they are accepted by some as Mahajans. Similarly, philosophers, historians, literary men, public speakers, and social and political leaders are sometimes accepted as Mahajans. Such Mahajans are respected by certain men who have been described in Bhagavatam. Sravidvara Oshtrakhara. Men who are like dogs, hogs, camels, and asses. Praise those men who never listen to the transcendental pastimes of Lord Shri Krishna, the deliverer from evils. So this is in Bhagavatam. Because we have that mentality, So we look after, or we look up to a person who's more successful in our line. Means men who are like dogs, they look up to bigger dogs or ferocious dogs. Yes, he's my leader. They'll not listen to transcendental pastime. They have no attraction for pastimes of Krishna or chanting of the holy names because they all want to be like that person. And this is what there are so many different societies. Like for engineers, now for in engineer, they're computer engineers, they're civil engineer, mechanical. Even that in there will be different specializations. So they all have their own societies, and they meet once in a while. Where the more successful leaders in that field, they come, they speak of their experiences, speak of their achievements, speak of their career goals and this and that struggles they had, and every other engineer down in the line, they are clapping and they are looking up to them that this is what I want to be. But do they meet to do Krishna Katha? No, they have no interest. This is where the problem is. We have made the goal of life as becoming a successful engineer, or successful doctor, successful businessman. Success, everybody has certain level of success, but everybody wants more and more success in that field. But what's the end result? Nobody wants to think about it. And the transcendental pastimes of Krishna, Jatu Nama Gadagas, means the deliverer from evils. That is the only way we can be delivered. But people are not interested. Thus, on the material platform, animalistic leaders are worshipped by animals. Sometimes physicians, psychiatrists, and social workers try to mitigate bodily pain, distress, and fear. But they have no knowledge of spiritual identity and are bereft of a relationship with God. Yet they are considered Mahajans by the illusion. Self-deceived persons sometimes accept leaders or spiritual masters from a priestly order that has been officially appointed by the codes of material life. In this way, they're deceived by official priests. They're deceived because anything material means trouble, in short sense. Illusion, disillusioned, and again, not getting out of this material cycle of birth, old age, disease, death. Sometimes people accept as Mahajans those who have been designated by Srila Vrindavan Das Thakur as Dhanga Vipras, or impostor Brahmins. Such impostors imitate the characteristics of Srila Haridas Thakur, and they envy Haridas Thakur, who was certainly a Mahajan. They make great artificial endeavors, advertising themselves as great devotees of the Lord, or as mystic hypnotists, knowledgeable in witchcraft, hypnotism, and miracles. Sometimes people accept as Mahajans demons like Putna, Trinavrat, Vatsa, Baka, Agaso, Dhenukasur, Kalya, and Pralambasur. Some people accept imitators and adversaries of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, such as Pondrak. Pondrak, if you remember from Bhagavatam, he dressed up like Vishnu. He had two imitation hands and two real hands. So he said, I am the Chaturbhuj Narayan. And he challenged Krishna in a fight. So these are impostors. Shrigal Vasudev, the spiritual master of the demon Shukracharya, or atheists like Charvak, King Vena, Sugat, and Arhat. People who accept such imitators as Mahajans have no faith in Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu as the supreme personality of Godhead. Rather, they accept godless cheaters who present themselves as incarnations of God and cheat foolish people within the material world by word jugglery. Thus, many rascals are accepted as Mahajans. So, in all this, how to find the real spiritual leader? It is those who are devoid of devotional service who sometimes mistakenly accept persons with mundane motives as Mahajans. The only motive must be Krishna Bhakti, devotional service to the Lord. Sometimes fruitive workers, dry philosophers, non-devotees, mystic yogis, and persons attached to material opulence, women and money are considered Mahajans. But Srimad Bhagavatam gives the following statement about such unauthorized Mahajans. In this material world, karmis, fruitive actors, are accepted as Mahajans by foolish people who do not know the value of devotional service. The mundane intelligence and mental speculative methods of such foolish people are under the control of the three modes of material nature. Consequently, they cannot understand unalloyed devotional service. They are attracted by material activities and they become worshippers of material nature. Thus, they are known as fruitive workers. They even become entangled in material activities, disguised as spiritual activities. Entangled in material activities, disguised as spiritual. They think this is spiritual, that is spiritual. Manav Seva is Madhav Seva. But no, that's not true. In the Bhagavad Gita, such people are described as Veda Vadarata, supposed followers of the Vedas. They do not understand the real purport of the Vedas, yet they think of themselves as Vedic authorities. People versed in Vedic knowledge must know Krishna as the supreme personality of God. Veda Sarver Aham Vedya. Very, very long purport on this. So I'm getting to the last paragraph. To select our Mahajans in the Gaudiya Sampradaya, we have to follow in the footsteps of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and his representatives. His next representative is Sri Swarup Damodar Goswami, and the next representatives are the six Goswamis, Sri Rup, Sanatan, Bhatta Raghunath, Sri Jiva, Gopala Bhatta, and Dasa Raghunath. A follower of Vishnu Swami was Sridhar Swami, the most well-known commentator on Srimad Bhagavatam. He was also a Mahajan. Similarly, Chandidas, Vidyapati, and Jayadeva were all Mahajans. One who tries to imitate the Mahajans just to become an imitative spiritual master is certainly far away from following in the footsteps of the Mahajans. Sometimes people cannot actually understand how a Mahajan follows other Mahajans. In this way, people commit offenses and fall down from devotional service. Long, that one. But one thing to understand, that those people who are not following the proper path, somehow or other, whatever the reason may be, or the proper guru, proper authority. But one thing is there, that everybody is looking for some spiritual authority to follow. They want that. Even in the West, there are people are looking for the right person to follow. Whether they don't have that kind of a Gyat Sakriti bank balance to come in contact with a pure devotee who can lead them properly, or as Prabhupada, cheaters get a cheating guru or a leader. So if I have some other motive other than bhakti in my heart, Krishna will send such a guru to that person. But ultimately, one thing is for sure, that everybody has some desire to follow a proper spiritual authority. They have this desire. So means it becomes more responsibility of those who have got on the right path and trying to follow the right path. This is their responsibility to guide people in general so they don't get misled by cheaters. So this is where the preachers come in. But the preachers also have to be careful in what we are preaching, how we are presenting, and are we bringing people closer to Srila Prabhupada and his books or not? Or we have some ulterior motives even on this path. We have to see ourselves. So you got to be careful. Got to be careful. Text 186. Tarko pratishtha shutayo vivinna nasa vrishya matam nabhin dharmasya tattvam nihitam guhayam bhajano yena gata sapant. Shri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu continued. Dry arguments are inconclusive. A great personality whose opinion does not differ from others is not considered a great sage. Simply by studying the Vedas, which are variegated but cannot come to the right path by which religious principles are understood. The solid truth of religious principles is hidden in the heart of an unadulterated, self-realized person. Unadulterated, self-realized person. Consequently, as the Shastras confirm, one should accept whatever progressive path the Mahajans advocate. So this is a word spoken by Yudhishthira Maharaj in Mahabharata, one part. So simply by studying the Vedas, one cannot come to the right path. So one has to, and that is why Prabhupada instructions, Prabhupada's books, they are the right foundation, the right authority, right guiding light to lead one the right path. Otherwise, people will get confused. तबे सही विप्र प्रभु के भिक्षा कराइला मधुपुरी लोक सब प्रभु के देखते आईला. After this discussion, the Brahmins served lunch to Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Then all the people residing in Mathura came to see the Lord. Laksha Sankhya Lok Aishe Nahi Kagana Bahir Haya Prabhu Diladarshan. People came by the hundreds of thousands and no one could count them. Therefore, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu came out of the house to give audience to the people. Bahutuli Vale Prabhu Hari Boladhan Preme Mata Nache Lokakari Hari Dhan. When the people assembled, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu raised his arms and said very loudly, Hari Bol. The people responded to the Lord and became ecstatic. As if mad, they began to dance and to vibrate the transcendental sound, Hari. Yamunara Chaubis Ghate, Prabhu Kailas Snan, Sai Vipra Prabhu Ke Dekhaye Tirthasthan. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu bathed in the 24 ghats along the banks of Yamuna, and the Brahman showed him all the places of pilgrimage. The 24 ghats, bathing places along Yamuna in Mathura, are Avimukta, Adirod, Guya Tirtha, Prayag Tirtha, Kankhala Tirtha, Tenduka, Surya Tirtha, Vattaswami, Dhruv Ghat, Rishi Tirtha, Moksha Tirtha, Bodha Tirtha, Gokarna, Krishna Ganga, Vaikuntha, Asikunda, Chatu Samudrik Kupa, Akrura Tirtha, Yagik Viprasthan, Kubja Kupa, Rangasthal, Manchasthal, Malayudhasthan, and Dashashmed Ghat. Swayambhu Vishramba Dirgha Vishnu Bhuteshwar Mahavidya Gokarna Adi Dekhila Vistar. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu visited all the holy places on the banks of the Yamuna, including Swayambhu, Vishram Ghat, Dirgha Vishnu, Bhuteshwar, Mahavidya, and Gokar. Van dekhi bare yadi prabhur man haila, Seit Brahmane Prabhu Sangete Laila. When Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu wanted to see the various forests of Vrindavan, he took the Brahman with him. Okay, I guess we can stop here. Tomorrow we'll have some discussion about the forests of Vrindavan. So we'll stop here. See anybody has any questions or comments?
Prabhuji, these ghats are there in Mathura.
Yes. I know we need to make a trip to Mathura now.
एक ही सुना हुआ है लास्ट वाला दशमेध घाट, बाकी तो
दशाश्वमेध तो हर जगह एक्चुअली है, प्रयागराज में भी है, काशी में भी
है ना। अच्छा, मथुरा में भी है।
ठीक है, चलो, we'll stop
Okay,
it here.
thank
Have
you,
a blessed
Prabhuji.
day and
Jai Shri
wonderful day.
Prabhupada.
Hare
Hare
Krishna.
Krishna.